Is it too late to start investing at 60? Well, no. I don't think it's ever too late, and I don't think it's ever too early when you start investing. The compounding power of money is enormous. Specifically, I'm going to talk about 3 things today. How 60 can be a very powerful year and age for you to begin investing, for those of you who haven't. Number 2, what are the best strategies for a late starter, so you still get that compounding effect for the next 20, 30 years. And number 3, how do you secure it as a wealth building strategy, and more importantly, a legacy building strategy. So let's begin with a few statistics that I want to read off before we start getting into this. At 60, you may not have decades to compound, but you have the ability to accelerate wealth and start smarter strategies. So average retirement savings for 55 to 64 is only $408,000. That is a shocking statistic for the amount of people who say, oh, I want to be a millionaire. Oh, I want to have a legacy. 400,000, I mean, it's nice, but it's not enough, depending on your lifestyle, unless you want to live like really, really small. You may need 1 to 1.5 million to retire to have that next chapter comfortably without actually being additive and creating more income. So why it's not too late to start is people live easily into their 80s and 90s, and I think it's even going to be 100 with the positive medical interventions that are going on. You can leverage exiting assets, meaning you can leverage equity in your home. You could leverage your retirement accounts that you might have built up if you actually work for companies for 20, 30 years. You can actually use those as capital to start moving into more and diverse and faster wealth building vehicles. Third, your mindset is going to be a huge part of this. I have a client today, for example, she's 74 years old and she is just starting a business. She just got a PhD in the last year at 73 years old. And she's jamming. She is so on track. She knows that she needs marketing help. She needs corporate structure, and she knows that she needs to figure out her tax plan because of her age. But I love that she's like, I'm just beginning and I got, decades to do it. So I think for a lot of you, it's your mindset. The old thinking, the Warden June Cleaver days of being 60 and calling it retirement. I mean, all of that shifting, the administration's shifting beyond 67 as your ability to even take out any money without any recourse. So just be mindful. What are your goals? What do you want? I know for me, I love doing this work, and this isn't work for me. This is like a God-given gift that I know how to do this, and I love helping people. So I'm going to be like Bob Proctor and do it till the day I die, and why not? Because you can continue to amplify cash, which amplifies investing for this. So what else are you going to do? Just go sit around all day? Like really, when your brain stops, you stop. Your physical body stops. So don't plan on that. So late life strategies. Again, when you go into a business or when you go into what you're looking at, cash flow is going to be your most important thing you create. So how do you get to the fastest path to cash? There isn't an industry, including real estate or insurance, that you can't sell, whether it's booklets, reports, cash flow analysis. There's all sorts of small things you can get on the internet and immediately start attracting people to do small buys that eventually, if you get them in a newsletter, say for real estate, you can get them as an investor later in real estate. For those of you that sell bigger tickets, which some of you do, you start, in my opinion, the wrong direction. You want to say, well, do you want to buy a house today? And if I say no, then you keep walking on to find the next person. You want to buy a house, you want to buy a house, you want to buy a house. You have 3 no's, you go home discouraged all day versus, do you want to buy a $20 report on the best cash flows in your state? Yeah, I'd spend $20 on that. Now I'm in your database. Now you continue to follow up. When I'm ready to buy a house, guess what? You're in touch with me and now you're available. If you're not, it was just a one and done, which is how so many of you market. And I speak to that because when you're 60 and older, you're not marketing in the traditional referral, going to BNI meetings and Chamber of Commerce meetings. You've got to get online. You've got to do this whole social media engagement to get the client that you want and then build the database you want. So go for big cash flow as fast as you can. Keep your tax strategy as efficient as you can, which means you're going to get incorporated, right? You're going to live corporate life. So all of you at 60 and older, if you have parents that are 60, siblings, hand them these 2 tickets. In the show notes are 2 tickets to our Millionaire Intensive. If you have a family of 6, ask for 6 tickets when you call in and come understand what does it mean to live corporate life. You live corporate life, you'll be doing activities, whether it's cash flowing businesses, whether it's investing, whether it's trading, whether you're partnering with other people to go buy more real estate or land, you're going to be building a legacy. Now, before I continue on to a few more strategies, I want you to here, subscribe to the channel, click that notification button. I want you here 5 days a week. And please pass this to others. those of you that are going to be receiving a legacy or giving a legacy, this is vital information. And it's fascinating how many people say, well, I'm interested, but my spouse isn't. So your spouse wants to be broke or live in a smaller world. Like, it doesn't make sense. You got to be creating your goals and aligning your goals together to grow together. And if one of you is 60 and another one's 65, then do something together. I cannot encourage more partnerships to actually go do one thing together really well than separate and each of you have your own businesses. Depending on your skill sets, we'll help you evaluate whether that makes sense for you or not. So when you build a legacy, again, you're going to be making money, investing money, putting it in the right corporate structure for the best tax plan, but part of your investing strategy will be dependent on a tax plan and then a legacy plan. And right now, I mean, you can build up like $12 million per beneficiary inside of your trust. So make sure that you put it in a trust. If you don't know how to get a trust, we have a trust company called Generational Wealth Systems. Click on the link inside the show notes and go set up an appointment to talk to our teams about a trust. And that's anywhere in North America. We can help you. If you have any questions about any of this, starting too late, starting too early, I don't think you started too early. I think you start the day you're born. Go to askloral.com, ask a question and make a request, and we will be right back with you. And we'll be back tomorrow with more content on the YouTube channel here.